Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of Heart Talk. I'm so glad you could join me. Today we're going to talk about Abraham Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy. Abraham Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy. What in the world is Glenn talking about today? Let's tell you who Abraham Harold Maslow was. Abraham Harold Maslow was an American psychologist and a founding figure in humanistic psychology, and is best known for his development of the pyramid of hierarchy. Abraham Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy. In other words, what is the most important thing in life to the least most important thing in life, and he did it in a pyramid triangle type diagram. I get phone calls all the time where people tell me, I gotta have this boat, I gotta have this car, I gotta have this house, I gotta have this money, I've gotta have this girl, I gotta have this, I've gotta have that, and if I don't have this, I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna give up, and I'm gonna quit, and I've got to have it or I'll die. Well, no, you won't. Let me tell you about a story that happened to me about 10 years ago. This is a true story. I was pastoring a church in another town that was 47 miles from here. I would go there every Sunday, and I would drive back every Sunday. I would go there every Wednesday. I would drive back every Wednesday. On a Saturday night, about 12:15, which is actually Sunday morning, I should say, after midnight, 12:15 Sunday morning a.m., I got a phone call from a young man in the church. I said, Glenn, I need to talk to you. Okay, buddy, I'll be glad to talk. Is it urgent? Well, yes, very urgent. He said, you got to come now. I said, is it a matter of life or death? Am I coming to a hospital? Where am I coming? He said, no, it's nothing like that. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's been hurt. Nobody's dying. I said, listen, buddy. I said, it's 12:15. And by then we've been talking. It's almost 12:30. I said, I'll be at the church in a few hours, because I would get there at 7:30 every Sunday morning, even though church didn't start till like 11. I said, I'll be there in a few hours, and I'll get there and we'll talk. I've got to see you tonight. So here it is, a stormy night, a cold and stormy night. Seriously, I'm not making this up. You don't make this stuff up. So I drove all the way to this town, knowing that all I'm going to do is sit there with him for 2 or 3 hours, come all the way back home, get up the next morning, drive right back down there. And I walked in, I said, what's your problem, buddy? Mr. Glenn, you ain't going to believe it. And he told his wife's name, and I will not dare tell you, but he said, she's got to have surgery. I said, man, I'm so sorry. Is she going to be okay? Oh, it's not about her, he said. I said, well, what's it about? It's about me. And I said, well, how's it about you? He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, about what? He said, she's going to have surgery. It's a simple procedure, but I can't have any type of sexual relations with her for 4 weeks. You have called me down here after midnight on a Saturday night and made me drive in this kind of weather to tell me that you're not going to make it. You fix to throw your hands up in the air and quit because you cannot have any type of sexual contact with your wife for 4 weeks. I said, I can't believe you called me down here for that. I said, I'm not even going to try to answer that. A little aggravated, yes. I sure was. I said, you need to go home, fall on your knees, and talk to God and ask him to help you. I said, you don't even want to hear what I have to say. That's blunt, but that's what I told him. He thought he was going to die because he couldn't be with his wife sexually for 4 weeks. Let me tell you how this pyramid works, folks. Let's do this pyramid backwards. On the bottom of this pyramid, which is the base of the pyramid, is the foundation, the things you have to have the most, and it goes up to the least important things you have to have. Let's start at the top with the least important things. Self-actualization. Self-actualization. Morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance. You need to experience purpose, and you need the meaning of inner potential. We all need to feel like we got something inside us that we know we can do good. We need to know that potential's there. We need to know that we have a purpose. We need to know that we can be creative. That's the least important thing. That's the point. That's at the very point of this pyramid. Important, but not the most important. Right under that is self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. We all want to feel wanted. We all want to feel like we're accepted by somebody, and it makes us feel good about ourselves when we have the respect of others. Right under self-esteem is love and belonging. We all need to have friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection. Still doesn't use the word sex anywhere. We all need to have friends. We all need to have family. We all need to have intimacy, whether that be with your companion, your spouse, the girl you married, or guys, the girl you married, or girls, the man you married. We all need to have that intimacy, but there's another kind of intimacy. I have friends that I am intimate with as far as sharing things with them and problems and situations, and they can pray for me and I can pray for them. We share things intimately, but it's not physical. So intimacy doesn't even have to mean physically. So even then, if it did mean sexual contact, it's not something like he thought it was, I gotta have it, Brother Glenn, or I'm just gonna die. Right under love and belonging is safety and security, health, employment, property, and social abilities. We all want health and employment and all this, but the very bottom of this pyramid is physiological needs. We all have to have breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep. Those are the most important things, because if you can't breathe, you ain't doing nothing anyway. If you don't have food and water, you ain't gonna do much for long, because you'll die. You need shelter from the elements, a place to get when the storms come. You need clothing to protect you when you're out in the elements. And you need sleep. Without those things, you're not going to survive. You're going to die. Those things, you can't have the safety and security. Boom. Without those things, you can't have the love and belonging, the friendship, the intimacy, the sense of connection. Without those things, you can't have the self-esteem, the confidence, the achievement, the respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. And without those things, you cannot have the self-actualization, the morality, the creativity, the spontaneity, the acceptance, the purpose and the meaning and the inner potential within yourself. You gotta have the food, you gotta have the water, you gotta have the shelter, you gotta have the clothing before you can do anything else in life, before you can ever worry about fitting in or having friends or being wanted, and all those things are important. But I tell you what this young man called me about is one of the most least important things in the world, is sexual contact with another human being. Never made it on this pyramid of things, and I tell you what, you can call me about any time of the day or night, and you'll probably find me awake even in the middle of the night, because I flop like a fish. I can't sleep during the night sometimes. But please don't call me and make me drive or ask me to drive 45 minutes to an hour just to tell me that you can't have any kind of physical contact with your wife for 4 weeks. Call me about something that you really, really need. It could be any one of these things. If you're hungry, I'll try to get you some food. If you need a shelter, I'll try to find you a place to stay. If you don't feel wanted, I'll try to make you feel wanted and accepted. I'll do anything I can for you. But I tell you what, some things in life just aren't as important as you think you are till you get past these basics. God would add another whole level to the bottom of this pyramid anyway. There's different colors. There's purple, there's green, there's yellow, there's orange, there's red. And I would put crimson red down here, and I'll just say God first. I would add that to his pyramid of hierarchy myself if I were you. God's got to be in the picture anyway. Just thought I'd share some thoughts with you today. Rambled a little bit, but trying to make sense. But anyway, thank you for joining me once again for Heart Talk. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so very much.